What is going on, everybody? We are back with another video. We are out here at the Met Center. I've got my coffee. We're ready to go. Let's get it. All right, we're here at the Met. I am just gonna play maybe 9 holes. It's been a very long time since I've been out here. I've been trying to make some tweaks to my mechanics a little bit. So this is gonna be kind of my first round playing with me trying to fix my mechanics. So it's been a little bit. I have not been putting at all, really. So my putt is atrocious right now. And I mean, my throw is still pretty not good right now. But I wanted to come out here and get some reps. Oh, I tickled that. But I have to like force it over almost right out of my hand a little bit. Basket's probably 200 feet. I almost got so sneaky. Some of my main focuses so far during the off season has been just becoming more fit, becoming more mobile, more flexible, getting stronger. And then I'm also trying to change a couple things to my mechanics, a little bit of my footwork, but just how I'm using my hips. I'm trying to incorporate them more. I think something I've realized throughout this process is it feels like I've already made a lot of big changes, but when I look at my mechanics on camera, they don't look that different, but it feels a lot different. And I think sometimes just like the cues that we have for the way we throw need to change and evolve with us. And if we're constantly using the same ones, as our body gets stronger, as we become more flexible, we the way we think about things has to change too, because our body is working differently as well. And so I think just some of the things I'm thinking about are like helping me activate my hips a little bit more. Even though it looks very similar, you can see a couple just bits of my body working slightly differently. So that's been exciting. I'm excited to build on that in the off season. I feel like with the tweaks I've made so far, I don't feel I can feel the potential power that this is going to get or give me. I just need to get more comfortable with it, but it definitely feels pretty good. It's a good shot. I just threw the C-Line DD3 back in my bag. Oh, this thing crushes. Oh, that's so good. Money. I'm going to take that first shot. It was pretty solid. A little inside, but give me a pretty decent look. I'm going to go putter right at it. Hit it in a good spot. Water OB behind the basket, and then water left of the basket. Maybe more on the left side of the fairway, maybe let it work slowly to the right. Oh, that was almost exactly what I wanted. So one of the biggest things I've been trying to work on, hit up my good friend Mason Ford and met up with him about a week and a half ago and told him what I kind of wanted to work on. And I used to always run up, and when I would run up, my back foot would kind of come back, pointing, backwards, which I think, all in all, I don't think that's the worst thing, especially if your front foot, if you're really able to turn it as well. But if you're not, then I think you want to try to have it a little more parallel to where you're aiming. And when I made that change, I could actually feel a lot more tension kind of in my lower body whenever I was reaching back. And so it's kind of helping me with that coil effect. But as I'm doing that, I've been getting better with putting my front foot, slightly more pointed back. And I feel like that's really helped me. It's not perfect all the time. And for some of my more power shots, it's a little more open. but now I'm getting my front foot more back as well. So these, my feet are more perpendicular with each other, and I think really that's the most important part. It's not good when I have one foot like this and then the other one kind of open. So that's been a good fix, and you can see it now whenever I throw. This foot always is kind of popping up pretty quick, and that's a result of me using my hips to swing in and kind of pop me off the ground. So that's one of the biggest things that I've been working on, and really just thinking about it now. I feel that tension almost every time, whether or not my foot is perfectly in that spot or not. It's more of just how I'm thinking about it really is making the difference. I was absolutely filleted. I think if anything, one thing that I took away from my session with Mason and what we worked on is a lot of the stuff that we worked on was building tension in my body. I feel like a lot of it was kind of that coil and my feet, and I think that's an important thing that I'm going to start incorporating in my swing thoughts, are making sure the things I'm focusing on are putting me under tension, putting my body under tension. If you're just focused on getting your body to a certain position, you might not always feel that tension, if that makes sense. So I think really the thought for me is, however I'm moving with my lower body, I want to try to or feel as much tension as possible so I can really get that effortless distance. Like I said in the video, like like I just went back and watched myself throw that. My back foot wasn't even that parallel, but it's more a little bit more in line with how my front foot is, where that's pointing. But it's just like that's where I feel tension. Like I'm not very flexible in my hips, and that's something I'm working on. But like already standing super parallel, I feel tension almost like that already. That's just how tight my hips are. So as long that's the goal, is to feel the tension, because that's your like end of range, and that's where you're coily, if that makes sense. So it's definitely something I'm going to continue working on. But I feel like as long as you're feeling that tension, I think that's the important thing. And like that was super effortless, and was, I don't know, 400 feet at least with a T-bird. Also, I want y'all to know that just because I have decent mechanics and I talk like I understand everything, I don't. And so don't go everything I'm saying. Don't go trying to change your form to do what I'm saying. Um, this is just kind of what's working for me and my personal thoughts and feels on it. Oh, it's gonna be a little short. Go. Sorry, I got sneaky. No way. Also, is what I'm saying 100% correct. Um, this is just how I feel, or what I think, or maybe what is working for me. So don't go taking my word for it. Just a dude trying to throw a frisbee better. That is it. Easy little. Should be easy. Easy little Heisey. Going Firebird. This is a freshie from the Armory Boys. I'm not going to tell you exactly the story of getting this one, but I'll tell you that it required losing 3 Firebirds within 2 days. Oh, a little skippy. Oh, what? I'm throwing another one. I'm not even gonna count that. that came in, hit the short grass, and went poof, bounced backwards. That is silly. Better height. Yeah, I'm taking that one. Another thing that in the process of working on, my footwork, since my back foot isn't as open, I don't need to be reaching as far back. Because before, when it was open, it felt comfortable to reach all the way back because that's where I needed to be to feel tension in my legs. So I've also been having to like tame down how far I'm reaching back, which again, it doesn't look like I am, but it feels like I'm reaching less back. I've mainly been trying to focus on reaching more out and away from my body than reaching behind me. And then that goes to my next last thing. All right, this is probably the last thing is like when I'm doing that, trying to just like leave the disc behind me and move around the disc, opposed to like actually reaching back. And that's also been helping with the timing of how far I need to reach back. Because when I was actually intentionally trying to reach a little bit, I was overreaching. So now that I'm kind of not trying to, I'm not overreaching as much. So I know I'm talking all this knowledge about distance, and y'all are sitting there like, all right, Tanner will show us some distance and rip a drive, and I'm like thinking the same thing, but this takes time. I wish. That's what the weird thing is, like I see why people try to make changes and then go back to what they were doing because like it feels better, but I'm not throwing far right now, and it's easy to get discouraged. But I think I think sometimes you just got to wait it out. And I know once this gets more comfortable, where I don't have to think about it, it's gonna become more natural, and I'm gonna be able to throw harder. I just can't do it right now because I'm thinking about trying to do so many things already. Patience, young grasshopper. Yeah, loose cannon. Loose cannon. Last one. Let's throw this diamond back on a big line. Dude, that disc crushes. I don't care what any of y'all say. The Diamondback absolutely crushes. I'm gonna try to show y'all the difference in from my old form to my new form. It's gonna be very slight, but I think once it gets more comfortable, I'm just gonna keep on trying to like make it uncomfortable until it's finally at a spot where it needs to be. So I'm just gonna keep on thinking about trying to keep this more parallel as time goes on. But I'm gonna throw my old throw first. So my old throw really, when I take this step, a lot of times I was turning it back already and rotating pretty quickly. I was almost trying to start turning around like halfway through this. I was already trying to turning away. And now I'm trying to really stay here and then turn. So I'm gonna throw my old form. Hopefully it looks different enough. And I mean that looked good and felt pretty good, but because if you do something over and over enough times, it'll get you know it'll get better. So just because it feels good doesn't mean it's right. And then now I'm gonna try to get here and then here, opposed to here. It's gonna be hard for y'all to see this bucket, but 350, a little over the left, kind of downhill. One of my focuses on with my back foot is I think as long as I focus on pushing off of it, but on the balls of my feet, that's going to kind of help keep my foot more parallel. It's going to be really hard for me to be pushing off the balls of my feet with my foot like this because my heel is going to be on the ground. So trying to really stay on the ball of my foot so I can push off of it, which then it's going to be athletic. It's going to help me stay kind of bent, so whenever I'm ready to use my hips, it's just going to pop off. Oh, a little high. Go Big Heiser with the destroyer. I want this ace. Swing. Skip. Oh, dude, that was so close. I think the biggest thing, like I said, the important thing that I'm focusing on is how to create tension, how to feel tension, and making sure I'm feeling tension on most of my shots. I think kind of every day, every round I play, every fieldwork session I have, I end up feeling new things, getting new thoughts in my head. And I think that's the most important thing when you're trying to just get better mechanics, is coming up with new swing thoughts. Dude, it looks so close. But just know that when you're trying to change your mechanics, you've got to change the way you're thinking. You can't be using those same thoughts of, oh, I'm gonna do this, or I'm trying to feel this, because if you do that, you're gonna stay in the same spot. You got to be open to feeling new things and to be thinking new things. But I think that's the key. I'm feeling springy. I'm gonna go turnover mid. Look at this dog. What's up? What's up? Oh, that is the most perfect turnover mid shot I've ever seen in my life. Oh my goodness. All right, this was a crush of a drive. Such a good, I mean, I hit it perfect. Slow and smooth. In line. A little short, that's fine. That's a great line. I think the most important thing in this part, when you're trying to learn new mechanics, is God, you've really just kind of got to almost go numb, to just not be focused on the result, and just really every day just pick one thing, work at it. Pick one thing, work at it. Because it's going to feel bad for, I mean, maybe a couple weeks, couple months. But I think if you stay positive, once it gets more comfortable, that's when you'll start to see the results, not when it feels uncomfortable. It's got to be uncomfortable first, and then that becomes comfortable, then you excel. Or at least the excelling process, that's when the excelling process really begins. It's kind of like take 2 steps back to take 1 step forward. Like I said, my putting has been atrocious. Also, I think it is a good opportunity to practice your mental game, mental strength, because you don't just practice that in tournaments. You practice that on while you're practicing in everyday life situations. If you can't be mentally tough here, good luck. Good luck. It's all about, or it's been all about, staying positive, trying to enjoy not being good again. Oh no, that was super soft. Get sticky. Okay. That's gonna wrap up today's video. Really not a whole lot going on other than just off-season grind. I plan on getting more of this content out this off-season, kind of having a little more structure to all my content, and trying to just post more regularly. on YouTube especially. So thank you all very much for watching. If you did watch, I know these videos come out probably every couple months, but I appreciate the time nonetheless. And make sure y'all subscribe, like, share, comment what y'all want to see. Like I said, I'm actually planning on stepping up the media game this off season, so be on the lookout. Big Country Beef Jerky, if you all haven't checked it out yet, go check out on the website. You can use McTan, MCTAN, at the checkout for 10% off your beef jerky. The beef jerky is absolutely fire. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out. McTan, 10% off your order. Other than that, peace out, guys. Thank you all to my sponsors supporting me, Camber Disc Golf, Armory Disc Golf, and Big Country Beef Jerky. Latest.